Oh, here. Unemployment benefits are expiring for over 7.5 million Americans. Hey, guys, happy Labor Day weekend. We're get back to work. Here it is.
Night unemployment benefits are over for 7.5 million Americans. Another
Jocelyn Online, full-term sub-pog. Yeah, we have a baby now. I don't make the rules. We have a sub
3
baby.
million will see their weekly checks cut by $300. It comes as hiring slowed in August, likely due to the surge of the Delta variant. Brooke Whitford delivered groceries when the pandemic started. She scaled back her hours over COVID concerns and a drop in wages. She's been on unemployment since April of last year.
Knowing that this date was coming up, what's that been like for you?
Stressful. The one word I can say, stressful. Put me in kind of a slump, kind of a depression.
Whitford says she's applied for over 150 jobs in the last few months, but so far, no offers.
I don't meet the criteria, or they've already hired somebody.
For every 8 people who lost their unemployment benefits in June, only 1 found a new job. Reasons include the lack of childcare and the growing mismatch between the jobs available and people looking for work.
We've never cut off benefits for this many people all in one fell swoop. The unemployment comes fast, but finding a job can often take a lot of time.
But with a record 10 million jobs now available, many business owners like Joseph Termini hope the end of benefits helps them find much needed workers. The bakery owner has already
what a cheery way of describing cutting off funds from people that were using said funds to survive. Like, oh, this will help the business owners find workers. It's like the other side of that is literally like we are starving out the working class because we can't get business owners to increase their wages. Okay? That's basically what this entire process has been about since the beginning. And I've said this a million times over, folks. I said this when we eradicated poverty for like a month. During the pandemic, if you guys remember, because we pumped everybody with funds. The unemployment insurance on top of it, the $300 a week on top of it was really good. It was better than most countries on the planet. It was the one time that the American welfare state actually dished out goddamn welfare. Okay? For the first time ever. America did something that other social democracies do regularly. For a brief moment during this pandemic. Okay?
Imagine protecting your
and
people
of course,
with more than just bombing some
cutting
kids
UI has not
country.
led to filling positions, or at least a growth in earnings at all.
Unemployment
in the 26 states that cut unemployment insurance ahead of time at the behest of the Chamber of Commerce, we didn't actually see an increase in earnings. Okay? The increases in jobs filled have been marginal in comparison to states that have not cut unemployment insurance. The additional benefits that we're talking about. So this was all for nothing. And even then, the horrifying reality is that capital owners literally openly stated their disdain for the working class for the past year. How many times did I talk about this where they kept saying, yo, cut this shit out, cut this shit out. You need to starve them like hungry dogs for them to come crawling back to the job availabilities that we have for them because we refuse to increase the wages or create a better work environment or offer better benefits.
Already begun to see more applicants.
I wouldn't call it a flood. I would say it was more of a trickle. But yes, we did see an uptick in people that were interested.
Tom, nearly $800 billion was spent on federal pandemic unemployment. People used that money for rent, medication, food. Now what we're watching for is how long will it take for people to get jobs? How will they get by without that money? And how will that impact consumer spending?
Great.
Nearly 9.
Where are they? Restaurant owners blast Dems silence amid staffing shortages. Where are they? Where are the Democrats? I thought these guys hated government interference. They only like government interference when it benefits the fucking capital owners, huh? I mean, listen. The government always interferes. There's no such thing as like a truly free market. It's the same concept as like unicorns, okay? It doesn't exist in reality. There's never been a singular market that is devoid of even a fraction of government interference, okay? Yes, the Easter Bunny, unicorn, Santa Claus, these are things that are total fabrications, much like the free market that is truly free. So it's not the government interference that they fucking hate. It's that the government is interfering against their interest, which happens to be on the interest of the working class, because there was a bearded man 200 fucking years ago that very adequately described the inherent contradiction amongst the two competing classes that are diametrically opposed with respect to their takeaways and their interests under a capitalist organization of the economy. There is no better representation of this theory than what you are seeing before you, with business owners who are capital owners freaking the absolute fuck out and saying, cut the fucking faucet, okay? Turn the faucet off. Stop giving them money. Stop giving them money. They literally have too much money and can survive, so they don't want to come back to these fucking shitty work conditions that we are offering them.
Okay, but
it created conditions that had to have happened organically if there was actually a supply and demand curve that existed for a tight labor market for the past fucking 10 years. We had near full employment at a certain point before COVID. And yet for some reason, we never got, for some weird reason, we never fucking reached the benefits of a tight labor market, like an increase in wages. For non-NA, what's the minimum wage? $7.25 an hour. It's not that people do not want to work. It's that people do not want to work the shit jobs that we offered to everyone for shit pay. Exactly. Now, there is another contradiction in the way that this market works. And that is, and I talked about this already, that is that we are primarily a consumer base. That is our most important function. Okay? In the United States of America, we are consumers first and foremost. We're not a productive nation anymore. We are no longer a producer. We are a consumer. We have a fat fucking market that everyone needs to take advantage of, that everyone wants to sell products to. And that's precisely why I said they were, even in the beginning, before the unemployment insurance was offered to people, and before like all the benefits came in, I said that there was going to be benefits, because otherwise you would be fucking, causing even further economic chaos. And guess what? When the unemployment state benefits expired, look at that. Our fucking spending also fell off a cliff. Earnings are still relatively stable, and yet unemployment benefits are pee-pee-poofing, and so is spending. So what these fucking dumbasses are doing, so that they can win over, so that they can get back to a situation where there are starving, poor working class individuals, is cucking themselves. What you are advocating for is basically a poorer consumer base that will no longer be able to purchase your products. I just want to point to something else here too, and that is this. Let's take a look at how many people have COVID right now in the United States of America. Let's see where we were at on this graph last year. This is September. 7-day average is 132,000, okay?
Thank you for the radicalization.
Oh, wow. On this same exact day in 2020, our 7-day average was 40,000. 40,000 people were getting COVID. That's interesting. Kind of seems like there are significantly more new cases. Now, let's look at the death number. The 7-day average death number has climbed back to 1,385 in comparison to the 1,000 that was back in September 5th, 2020. Now, let me tell you something, folks. There is one major difference here. Now, you might be thinking, what the fuck's going on, brother? 3 times the number of cases and yet the same level of deaths? That's interesting. I wonder if there is a separate factor here that is playing a role in stopping people from dying of COVID, despite the fact that, like, right now, this pandemic is ripping through this fucking country. So, yeah. We're cutting unemployment. We're cutting UI. It has not been effective in, like, getting people to go back to work. The eviction moratorium is ending. Except for places like California, by the way. Shouts out to Gavin Newsom. And New York, too. Friend of the show, Gavin Newsom. And that's what we got ahead of ourselves here. That's what we are working with. Wonderful situation we're in, folks.
9 million people are set to lose federal unemployment benefits today as COVID safety net programs expire. This, as the latest job report reveals, the U.S. added just 235,000 jobs last month, and more than 42,000 food service industry jobs were lost. Our next guest knows the struggle firsthand. Back in May, Jason Kramer, the owner of Doo-Wop Drive-In, told us Biden's plan to fix the economy and pay people to stay home was backfiring. Watch.
It's kind of simple. You give too many people too much money, free money to sit around and do nothing, and it's backfiring. I can't even seat a good third of my restaurant because I don't have enough employees. I would love to hire new people. There's nobody coming in the doors.
That man, Jason Kramer, joins us now with an update. Jason, so you were very vocal the last time we had you on the show. The question is, has anything changed?
No, actually, it got.
I mean, yeah, he still has the same dog shit microphone, bro.
It got worse, and thanks for having me back.
Decided to take my
we struggled all summer long.
Sister, no more meat prime sub for you.
And I feel bad for every restaurant owner, bar owner. It's just bad. You try to hold your emotions in and say, well, what's the problem? We all knew what the problem was. I've got friends that are closing restaurants up this week, 8-9 weeks ahead of schedule for our season, because it is a seasonal town. And don't get me wrong, we would love to stay open year round. But when you have to close because you can't physically do 8 positions yourself or 9 positions or more, where do you cut your losses at? They were. I'm sorry, Lawrence, go ahead.
No, brother. I hear the emotion. You put everything that you have in this business.
He's emotional because he's literally saying, like, I can't threaten them to come back to work. Please, government man. Please, can you? This is why fascists align with the fucking liberal business owners, okay? This is why business owners ultimately always come on the side of fascism. If you think these would not 100% without a doubt want the government to, if push came to shove, forcibly fucking make sure that these people work at gunpoint, you're out of your mind. Okay? These small business owners would love the government to just like forcibly fucking push them into work with direct threats of violence. Because what they're doing right now is trying to get the government to increase the dial of struggle a little bit, okay? To cut the faucet of the unemployment insurance so that, you know, they don't have to increase their wages, because they always know, like, listen, we could just wait this out. It's a war of attrition, baby. We can wait this out. The government's ultimately going to side with us, the business owners, rather than the fucking workforce, as always, as they've historically done. So obviously, we could just like sit this out and cry and complain on TV to ask the government man to stop giving so much money to the poor so I don't have to fucking make competitive wages. Okay? those very same people, 1,000%, I have no doubt in my mind, would be totally open to direct violence or the direct threat or the threat of direct violence by the government. Just like they are currently advocating, or rather agitating, for the indirect violence, the structural violence of poverty. That is what they are asking for. Every time you see a business owner who says, I am begging, nay, demanding the government to stop giving $300 extra in unemployment insurance, stop fucking, allowing people to live off welfare, they're basically saying, I mean, not basically saying, they're literally just saying, we want you to fucking starve so that you have no other option but to come back to work for us.
You open during the middle of the pandemic and you lay it all out there and you can't even...
One of my favorite parts about this, sorry, I'm pausing again, but one of my favorite parts about this is whenever business owners are like, I have to be washing the dishes and also flipping the burgers. And it's like, oh yeah? Wait, I'm sorry. Is that like a shitty job? Do you now recognize that like your line cooks are providing a fuckload of value to your business? And as a matter of fact, that you would not be able to do anything without them? That's crazy, man. I didn't realize. I thought you took the risk, dude. I thought you assumed the risk, and that's why you deserve all of the fucking profits. But as the old labor union motto goes, there is no value without labor. So when there's no labor, there's no value. There's no surplus value to exploit. There's no profits. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Even get a return on your investment because the government is blocking you.
And that's the issue. It wasn't. No, don't get me wrong. Here's the thing that people get mistaken because of what we stand for. We're okay for giving people assistance that need it. This was way too much money for way too long. Now that our season's ending for the entire coast of New Jersey, what do you think people are just going to line up outside your door? I'm ready to work now. Hire me. No, I don't think so. That's not how it's going to work. The issue is the money that was given out.
Dude, I would never, no matter what my circumstances are, if my boss fucking went on Fox News to cry like this and showed the disdain that he has for workers in this hypothetical scenario where I'm living in fucking New Jersey and one of the only available job openings is at the Doo-Wop drive-in, I'm never working for this guy. No shot, dude. Have some fucking, have some self-respect, have some decency, and be a little bit more humble. Like you're fucking flipping the burgers yourself. You've already recognized that job is not easy. That's why you're fucking crying. Because never forget, you don't die when your business fails because you couldn't hire enough employees. Okay, you don't die. You don't go to prison when your business fails. You are relegated back to the working class, which you have so much disdain for. And that is the real fear. The fear of God in his eyes is, oh God, oh my God, I don't want to become a worker again. Because I know what bosses like myself do to workers, and I would rather fucking die and embarrass myself every fucking day in front of the camera and beg the government to like starve out the workers than to become a worker myself.
Leftist critiques helped me de-radicalize
classic champagne socialist take. Yep.
Very thankful.
It's fucking true. I love champagne socialism, baby. All the way.
Business owners crying when they have to pay their workers.
I'm rich, motherfucker.
Wages.
Come in here. Talk shit. Go ahead. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. No, just defend your fucking bosses in here in my chat. That seems smart.
Love you, Hasan and chat hassle.
Like, I love that, dude. Yo, you got a deed to the factory, dude? Why are you fucking why are you defending the capital owners so hard, huh? If you come in here and defend your bosses, you need to show me the deed to the factory. Imagine being a capitalist without having capital, dude. The only boss that I'm defending is the boss of the top of the hour ad break. Oh, fucking. That's right. It is top of the fucking hour. And that means it's time for a 60-second ad break. Okay.
For help, not to stay home and do nothing. I couldn't even get people to walk in the door to even explain to them, listen, I'm willing to compromise and give you a living wage, give you a working wage,
poetry.
not just minimum wage, but I wasn't even given the opportunity to help people get jobs. Now, what about the people that busted their butts all year long for every restaurant owner and every position that was available? They burnt the candle at both ends. My kids were so tired of working before they went back to school and took off for the season that they were exhausted. What about those people that actually stuck by everybody to get the restaurants to work? Now that you have so many places closing up, what liberal in this and especially in this,
dude, he's like on the verge of tears.
What about those people that actually stuck by everybody to get the restaurants to work? Now that you have so many places closing up, what liberal in this and especially in this state did the math on sales tax and employment tax that the state missed out on because nothing was being served or you couldn't get food out? It actually was just mind-boggling of why this couldn't get accomplished. And then you talk about the inflation rate. Sure. I've got products that are tenfold the price that used to be yet last year and the year before.
How was this guy on the verge of crying? What the fuck are your focus? I mean, do you not see him, dude? Also, I love that he's talking about the state not getting enough taxes and sales tax. Like, maybe that's a statewide problem, dude. Don't worry about it. You don't have to care about the coffers of the state. It doesn't seem like you give a shit anyway, okay? Especially when you're literally begging the state to stop this unemployment insurance nonsense so they can starve out the working class enough that, like, you don't have to increase your wages. We should interview the employees. First of all, employees that are still working there are probably not going to be open about it unless they're, like, literally about to quit their jobs. Secondly, it's Fox News. You think they give a fuck about the employees? New York Times barely cares about the fucking employees' perspective, dude. I've only seen a handful of fucking New York Times articles that actually cover the employees. You know what I mean? Like, Fox News is never going to do that. They don't exist. They only exist as B-roll in the eyes of Fox News. Or if they can find one, like, shitty bootlicker who will be like, oh my God, I love working here for my boss man.
How is that possible to increase product so far that we can't even touch it right now? I can't even get in minor things because they cost too much money. It's a trickle effect, and it's just dialed down to us so bad that...
Hey, man, it seems like you just made a bad investment. What happened? Like, I thought people were allowed to make bad investments. I thought the free market destroys your fucking bad investment, and then you learn from that lesson, and you make a good investment next time. Like, I don't understand it, dude.
I have only sat maybe 50% of the restaurant all year long. It wasn't about, it is strictly about capitalism. I took the risk. I put my life on the line.
Okay, and now you're asking for a fucking handout, dude.
I put everything, I worked hard, but I was...
And once again, I gotta repeat myself. It's not like you're gonna die. You're just gonna be a worker again, but you don't want that. That's fucking right. Hey, you took the risk. There you go. The risk is supposed to have rewards, which you have obviously benefited from plenty. But then there's also supposed to be the negative side of that. You take a risk. It's not a risk if the government babies you throughout the entire process.
Right, Jogan.
Willing to even share my wealth, the minimum that we were making with the employees, but I couldn't get people even in the door. How is that even?
One sandwich, please. Thank you for the 20 gifted subs.
I took the risk, Keck.
I shared my wealth with the employees. Like, dude, that's called giving them a wage so they can fucking continue producing for you so that you can continue exploiting them by taking away their surplus labor value. That's what that fucking is, but that's kind of weird.
Impossible. You have all these statistics saying, well, all these millions of people want jobs. Where are they at? Where were they? And it's not just me. I took my kids out to dinner last night for school, so we had a nice dinner celebration. Yeah. There were so many notes all around the hostess stand. Pardon our appearance or short staffed. We can't sit there right now.
Jason,
sit in the back.
You are the voice of every single business owner.
Yeah, and he's right. But of course, not a good voice, okay? I'm sorry. Is there a single person that works a fucking 9 to 5 in here that works for a boss exactly like this one that looks at this guy and goes, oh man, what about the fucking poor business owners? I'm sure you guys have parents that are like this, dude. I'm sure. Like some of you probably have parents that are like this, dude. That's why you can, you know, they fund your neat lifestyle.
Landlord, you are speaking for the people of America.
Lord, I'm channeling them through me. Yeah. It is so bad that it is just absolutely, this administration is not middle class friendly.
I don't know, man. It seems like you're spending a lot of time on television whining like a little baby. Perhaps you should, I don't know, find your fucking bootstraps and pick yourself up by those bootstraps and get the fuck back to work. My employer took proper precaution, minimized layoffs, and treated us like human beings. Everyone's still happy to work here. I wonder why, lol. The irony is, like, in America, you don't really need to do this, but, like, the most effective way of, like, preventing unionization is literally by fucking offering such great workplace conditions to your workers unconditionally that, like, they never even feel like they need it, and they always need it regardless. They always need it regardless. But, like,
hassle.
That's how you fucking stop people from wanting to unionize at all. That you don't make them feel like they're, you know, that anything is being stolen from them. I was laid off in the beginning of COVID-19 almost 1.5 years ago. Although not due to budget cuts, but a reformation of the organization. I live in Sweden, and I'm a member of a union. I have additional insurance that I pay for about $35 a month. They help me by paying $1.5K after taxes. And after 7 months, I found a job within my field, and that is well paid. So happy that I live in a Nordic country with our values. Son of a bitch.